Revi remembered the day that Frank Jr. was born. It was a cold day in February, snowy, in New York. She was 8 years old at the time. She remembered driving in her father's beat-up sedan as they made their way to New York General. As they went through the crowded halls of the hospital into a tiny room on the West Wing, seeing her mother there, holding her baby brother. She remembered the look on her father's face, the look of a man who had gained everything that he had once lost. By that point in time, the days of the Punisher had long since gone, and now what remained were just Frank Castle, average family man, former ex-Marine, proud father. Revi remembered looking into the eyes of the young infant, seeing the way that his small hand reached out for hers. On that day, she made a promise that she would take care of him no matter what. As they grew older, Revi was always known as the protective sister of Frank Castle Jr., much to his annoyance. But for Revi, she enjoyed bullying him just as much as protecting him. It didn't matter, boy, girl, big or small. No one crossed him for fear of what Revi would do. But of course, things changed on that day. The day when their mother and father were executed in their home. And you could say it was then that the curse that bound to Revi's heart began to take form. From that day forth, the brother and sister became even more strained. Revi had to step up and become a provider. She had to do everything she could to take care of her little brother, even if it meant sometimes doing some things that, weren't optimal. Frank Jr. remembered those nights, the nights of hearing those noises from his sister's room, the nights of the crying, the nights when she would slave herself away. But Revi was a girl of integrity. There were things that she just wouldn't do, lines that she wouldn't cross. But Frank always remembered those noises coming from Revi's room. The noises of someone crying. Revi never allowed herself to break, not in front of him at least. But behind closed doors, if the walls could speak, they would tell of a girl who was being held together by nothing but string. Eventually, though, Frankie decided to go out on his own. He decided that joining the military would be best. Of course, Revi was against it, but she had her own issues with the law. Before Frank could even be deployed into combat, he suffered the same fate as his father. At the time, his girlfriend had given birth to their child, even though Revi, while being a proud aunt, was still annoyed by the fact that her younger brother had seemingly become a man so soon. When the tragedy that befell Frank Jr. happened, this time there was no mobster to blame it on, no. In one of the rare cases in the United States of a cursed spirit taking form, it attacked. And Frank, he seemed to be the source. But of course, no one believed him. No one believed a word that he said. And eventually he found himself locked up in a loony bin. By the time he got out, he felt like there was nothing for him. But by chance, he came across someone who heard his story, someone who believed in him. The young man's name was Peter Parker. Hearing of his story, he gave Frank an opportunity in Japan, a chance to start over. But for Frank, for all this time, all he saw was an opportunity to get revenge on the cursed spirits that took everything away from him. You could say that he became the punisher of all cursed spirits. But now, in this place, in this moment, to be reunited with his sister after so long, it was a reunion that would be short-lived, as from both ends of the subway station stood Mahito. Nobara, Frank, and Revy would stand back to back, Nita standing close to the group, as the two Mahitos went in different directions. Revy would follow behind Frank Jr., while Nita would be moved to safety, as Nobara would give chase after the second Mahito. That bastard followed me, Frank thought. I have to be able to pierce through his heart, to kill him once and for all. Huh? Why are you following me? You idiot! You think I'm just gonna let you run into danger without any backup? I'm serious. You can't get involved in this. You're just gonna... Shut up! I abandoned you once. I'm not doing that again. I don't care if you're fighting devils, demons, ghouls, whatever it is. We're fighting it together. You think those weapons are really going to do anything? They worked against that other guy. He was probably a sorcerer. Guns will work against humans, but against cursed spirits, they're practically worthless. Give them to me. What? Give me your guns. And your ammo. Using a special curse technique imbued in the sword that he wielded, he was able to transfer cursed energy into the guns and into her ammo, to be more specific. There. Now you should be able to do some damage. Ooh. Magic guns, huh? It's not magic. It's cursed energy. Sounds like magic to me. So what are you? Harry Potter with a sword? Huh. Very funny. Stick close to me. Since when did you start barking orders? Mahito had a strategy. Now that he knew that Frank had a sister, it was time to play the long game. Before you can crush the man, you crush the spirit. Revy and Frank would stand back to back as they fought against Mahito. Frank would keep him at a distance using his sword, while Revy would take her shots with her gun. And they were actually doing some considerable damage. Frank would take the forefront in the attack, countering against idle transfiguration. One thing about Revy is that she was a good shot, so whenever he transformed any humans or corpses around him into monsters for his own use, she had no problem putting a bullet through their skulls. Aw, you're no fun, Mahito thought. You don't feel any conflict, no pain, not even an ounce of regret? I mean, come on, lady, you're killing humans. Yeah, I do it for a living. I've had to kill a lot of people and done a lot more worse than that. So if the only thing you can do is send ugly-ass monsters my way, then I have no problem shooting through all of them until I get to you. Ooh, someone's feeling a little spicy. Safe to say, I see where you get it from, Frankie Poo. Do you ever shut up? Meanwhile, Nobara would engage with the other Mahito. This clone had no way of using any form of idle transfiguration, nor could he manipulate the soul. With her training given to her by her master, Dr. Voodoo, she would pull out a deck of cards from her pouch. They were black cards with the inscriptions of Shinigami and other cursed spirits onto them. Imbuing them with her cursed energy, the cards would summon those monsters that had been sealed away, as she used them to engage with Mahito, serving as a distraction long enough for her to use her resonance technique, as she would bury her curse-imbued nails into him, the resonance striking to the soul of the other Mahito. He knew that he had to create some distance, the only way of getting past them all. Revi would stick close to her brother as the duo would continue their fight against him. They were more trouble than they were worth, but soon enough, he'd have a way of snuffing them out. It came when they all converged underground on the next level, the two Maitos preparing to switch targets. Of course, it didn't take Frank long to figure out what was about to happen. He yelled out for Nobara to stop, as he knew that one touch from Maito would be it. But before he could get to her, a pair of feet would strike him in the face. It was Miles. He took long enough. Damn bastard. Are you back to normal now? Yeah, I'm good. You better be. Who's he? Revi would ask. No one special, just another sorcerer. Stay on guard. Maito said. Shit! You just had to ruin everything, didn't you? Another one. Wait. It's you. Miles. Hi. So you decided to join the party. Shut it, Maito. You've got nowhere to run. It's over. Oh, my friend. That's where you're wrong. Maito would touch the ground and would begin to morph and change everything around them. The subway turning into a hall of mirrors. The splintered groups would stand together, shoulder to shoulder, looking around as Maitos would form all in the reflections. I saw this by chance on the way. It was supposed to be for the Halloween event here in Shibuya. Hall of Mirrors. You know, you humans, when you see your reflection, what do you really see? Do you see what you want to see, or do you see the truth? Do you see the flaws, or do you only see perfection? Enough with the damn speeches, Frank said. You gotta use all these tricks because you're too scared to fight. Scared to fight? No. I'm not scared to fight at all. It's just, you humans are so predictable. So easy to exploit. Like comrades, partners, lovers. A sister, maybe. Huh? Hey, if you want to make threats, you can say it to my face, Revi said. She started shooting at the mirrors, causing them to break. The only way to stop this is to destroy all the mirrors, right? So that's all we gotta do. Enough playing around, Stitch Face. Get your ass out here so I can turn you into Swiss cheese. Ooh, she's got a lot of spunk. Though, I imagine that's only an outside show. I bet on the inside, she's a big old softie. I'll show you who's soft, bitch. The group would make their way through the Hall of Mirrors, Maito attempting to strike at whenever possible, but their combined efforts kept them safe for the most part. Eventually, the room would begin to morph and change once again. Frank, deciding to use one of the curse techniques imbued inside of his sword, would attempt to go for an all-out slash, cutting through all the mirrors at once, freeing them from their trap. The moment that he did so, he saw that Maito was heading straight towards Revi. Without even thinking, he pushed her out of the way, as his sword would come into contact with Maito, stabbing him directly in the chest and burying him onto the ground. Miles and Nobara turned to see what had happened, Revi racing over to her brother as Maito used his idle transfiguration to turn his arm into a blade, stabbing him in the gut. Frankie! I'm fine. He's just desperate because he's dead. No, Mahito said. You can't do this to me. I'm supposed to be perfect. That's right. As long as this thing's buried in your chest, it can absorb all of your cursed energy. I'll take all of it, including your power, and you'll be forgotten. No! I won't let you! You don't have a choice. No, be gone! Using a curse technique from the blade, he would shoot flames out of it, incinerating Mahito to burn him to ash. You dummy! I could have handled that! Revi would punch Frankie in the chest before pulling him in for a hug. I didn't think you'd be so sentimental. Because you're my only brother. What would I do if something happened to you? I just got you back. I'm not losing you again. So, she's his sister or something? Yeah, Nobara said. Surprisingly enough, she were here in Shibuya with her friend. Apparently, they had gotten their hands on some cursed item or something, and they were trying to bring it back for Gojo. Really? What are the odds? I'm here. What happened? Revi said as she came down the escalator with her guns drawn. What the Wait, Nobara said. If you're here... Oh no, Miles thought. Frank, get away! Frank looked up to see Miles, Nobara, and Revi. But if they were there, then Mahito would stand up behind him. As the Revi that was holding him, her face would turn into Mahito. And the award for Best Actor goes to... Drumroll, please. Yours truly. Mahito, don't! Frank! Frankie! Oh. So that's how it is. Any last words, buddy? Revi would race towards her brother. In that moment, Frank saw something else. He saw Maria, his baby child. Hey there, Frank. You look so beat up. Yeah, it's been a long night. How is he? Just like his father. Absolutely perfect. I missed you so much, Maria. I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize. I'm proud of you. It's over, isn't it? No. We're waiting for you. Please, come back to us. Man, I really screwed up this time. All of that training, just to go out like this. Oh well. Frank would give Mahito a hug. You're sentimental now? Nah. But the way I see it, we can go together. Huh? Ah! Frank had broken the cursed blade, shortening it enough to run it through his chest and Mahito's. You sneaky bastard! Frank! You got it from here. Don't let me down, Morales. No! The top portion of Frank's body would be destroyed as his lower half collapsed. What the? Sheesh! Mahito would pull the cursed blade from out of his body as he threw it away. That is one pesky sword, you know? Huh. Well, would you look at that? Splat goes the sorcerer. Frank? Frank? Come on. Come on. Get up. No, not again. Please, not again. No. No way. Nobara said. How could you? Mahito, Miles said. Why? Just... What the hell are you? Mahito! I can hear you! No need to yell, Morales! You bastard! Miles would go charging towards Mahito as he tackled him. Too slow! Mahito turned around as he kicked Miles in the face. As the two of them continued on, Revi raced towards what remained of her brother. No, it should have been me. It should have been me. Why? No, I'm a monster. I'm a murderer. I'm nothing but scum. So why? Why does this keep happening to me? It's not fair. Why? What? Nobara would race behind Miles. As much as she wanted to comfort Revi in that moment, right now they had to stop Mahito at any cost. Mahito would now find himself surrounded. Both Nobara and Miles. Both of them attempting to kill him. Yeah, that's it. Now you guys are getting into it. Did I upset you? What? Are you mad at me? Shut up! Shut the hell up! Aw, what's the concern? You're upset that I killed your best friend? No, you're upset that I got him to lower his guard down. What the hell do you think this is, huh? You think that this is some type of game? What? You think you get to start over? Don't make me laugh. This isn't some type of heroic crusade. This isn't a game of cops and robbers, of heroes and villains. This is war. And you are too foolish to realize it. In war, there is no right or wrong. I kill without even thinking about it. And you save without thinking about it. So let's see. How many lives can I take and how many can you save? You want to keep count? Let's keep a score. Let's do it, Miles! Nobara would attempt to use resonance as Mahito saw an opening. Let's up the score, shall we? Domain expansion. Crap, Yuji said. Self-embodiment of perfection! Now caught inside of his domain, Nobara saw that her right arm was grabbed by Mahito. Without hesitating, she would stick needles into her arm before taking out a blade and cutting it off. Ah! Nobara! Domain expansion! Crap, I can't use it without Megumi. Too late, huh? I thought I warned you about coming in my body. Or do you just want to die? Sukuna said. Oh, please. I'll be out before you can even do anything. You might think that you're the king around here, but we're the ones who are running the show now. Soon enough, you won't be anything special. He's going to die. You picked the wrong vessel, Sukuna. Mahito would dissipate out of his domain before he could be hit by Malevolent Shrine. And Sukuna couldn't help but grin. You lucky bitch. Next time you try that shit on me, your ass is barbecue. Nobara lied on the ground, an arm missing, writhing in pain at how she could do something so reckless. Miles would try to tend to her, only for Mahito to stop him in his tracks as they continued descending into the subway. It was all starting to become too much. He wasn't sure of what else that he could do. Mahito was starting to land devastating black flashes. Every time he tried to raise his arms, Mahito knocked him back down. What? You thought Sukuna was gonna save you? Nah, not this time. It's over. Your friends are going to die. And it's all your fault. It's all your fault. You try to be a hero. In this world, there are no heroes. There's the strong and there's the weak. And you don't have what it takes to be strong. Not against me. But let's be honest, you never did. I can end it for you. I'll put you out of your misery. And I'll kill you. And you know something? I'll keep killing. And killing. And killing. Hell, in 100 years from now, I won't even remember your name. So now, be gone, Miles Morales! With a clap, Miles would disappear. As now, a new fighter had arrived on the scene. I can't let you just strike at my brother like that. A fellow brother in arms. Todo? Todo had arrived, now ready for a fight. Looking at the conditions of everything around him. Damn, Frank's gone. Take care of the girl and my brother. Oh, another one. Hopefully you've got more fire in you. I've got more than fire, my friend. What I have is unwavering talent. Unwavering talent? That's right. You're not dealing with the average Jujutsu sorcerer anymore. My talent, it only makes up a small portion of what I can do. Charm, charisma, all of that in one fine package. In this world, I am the exception among exceptions. And quite frankly, I'm just too cool to die. Especially to the likes of someone like you. Is that so? Oh man, they just keep coming. Are you alright, Miles? Do I look like I'm alright? Frank's dead. I see. I can't do this. I just... I can't save anyone. I can't even save one friend. What's wrong with me? Your soul is weighed down. You don't get it! All the people I've killed. The lives I couldn't save. Why am I doing this? If I just keep failing. I'm not Peter, man. I'm not Peter Parker! You're right. You're not Peter Parker. I fought with him during the parade of 1,000 curses. I watched him in action. The way that he was able to glide through the air. The way that he was able to be everywhere at once. He was a Jujutsu sorcerer unlike any other. And yet, he died just the same. I won't lie, his death messed me up. Because it made me question, for once in my life, is there ever any hope? Now we've lost him, Gojo too. So why keep doing it? Why do we keep getting up? Because, Miles, when you become a Jujutsu sorcerer, what you stand for, what you live for, hell, even what you die for, it's unlike anything else in this world. You take up a code. You take up arms. You fight in a thankless war. A war that may never end. But still, does that mean that it's all in vain? Does that mean that you stop giving it your all? No. You will lose comrades along the way in a war. That's what happens. War never changes. But yet, we go on. As long as you live, your comrades are not dead. As long as you continue to fight, their memory, it stays with you. You carry on their spirit, everything they've taught you. For just as one day, you and I will also perish. And for men like us, death does not take us in our bed when we're sleeping. No, for men like us, this is where our graves will be made. For men like us, this is where we make our stand. Whether it be today or tomorrow or the day after that or next week or next month or next year or years from now. We are but torch carriers, Miles. We carry the torch to the next generation, and we push them forward so that they can burn brighter than even us. But for now, this is our moment, our time. Our flames have not been extinguished. No, far from it, brother. Today, our flames are set ablaze. A blazing path that we will stretch forward into the future. So tell me, has your light grown dim? Or will you let it shine? Let it shine like the ones that came before you, and shine it forth. That's a great speech and all, but now it's time for you to die. As Miles slowly staggered to his feet, a familiar face stood in front of him. Don't tell me you're gonna let your mans go out there all alone now. Huh? Come on now, nephew. It's time to get up. Uncle Aaron? Is that you? Sure is. As sure as the sunrise, baby. How you doing, nephew? I'm tired. I know. You've been putting in work all night. You are something else. You know, I always knew that you could do something amazing. I haven't done anything. Hush that talk now. You didn't get this far by some chance. You got all of us right beside you. It ain't over. As long as you can still feel a heartbeat, as long as you still got blood pumping through those veins of yours, then it's not over. It's far from over. You gotta find that spark inside you, Miles. And you gotta go forward with it. Don't let nobody or nowhere tell you any different. That's not what you were raised to believe. You can do far much more. Far more. So just keep going, Miles. Don't quit. What a rousing speech, Sukuna said. Like that's really supposed to make a difference. You're just setting that boy up for failure. Nah, 'cause he ain't you. So he ain't no failure. Of course he's not like me. I expect far more from him than to ever be like someone like you. 'Cause you're a failure, a sucker. You're as fake as a $3 bill. Huh. I don't think you know who you're really dealing with. No, I do. Mr. Sukuna. Mr. 20 Finger Strong. Mr. King of Curses, right? Yeah. You go on and on about how you the king, but really you bitch made. You soft. Up here and in here. Sukuna tried to hit Uncle Aaron only for him to disappear and appear behind him. You go on and on about being the king, but yet you're the one who has his soul trapped in 20 fingers. And then I gotta ask, why would you even have to do something like that? Oh, I know. 'Cause Mr. Big and Bad Sukuna got jumped and couldn't handle the pressure. Urgh. You were supposed to be the king of your Heian era, right? So how you let him spin the block on you like that? And worst of all, if it wasn't for my nephew, you wouldn't even be here right now. You keep talking so much shit about how you're the biggest, you're the baddest, how you don't need nobody. Motherfucker, if it wasn't for everybody else, you wouldn't even be able to talk right now. Your bitch ass lost back then, just like you're gonna lose now. 'Cause you ain't that strong. You ain't as bad as you think you are. You don't know me. I know enough to know why you're going after Fushiguro. Huh? You want his body, don't you? Does Gojo scare you that much? Alright. I'll get out your hair now. But you and I both know the truth. You're scared, Sukuna. And sadly enough, you're not even man enough to admit it. That's why you're gonna lose. Talk all the shit you want. It ain't gonna change reality. On the outside, Maito was preparing to launch another attack against Todo, only for him to be stopped as Miles stood next to his friend. So you're back, brother? I'm ready. Let's do this. All right. I can feel the flames starting to rise. It's getting hot. So, you came crawling back from the dead, huh, Miles? Okay then. Fine with me. Let's kick it up a notch. Miles Morales. Give it everything you've got. 'Cause this is the last time that you and I will ever curse each other. This concludes Jujutsu Kaisen, The Spider's Curse. What if Miles Morales was Sukuna's vessel? Season 2, Part 9. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned tomorrow as we continue and conclude Jujutsu Kaisen, The Spider's Curse, What if Miles Morales was Sukuna's vessel, Season 2, Part 10, the Season 2 finale. And with that, it will officially conclude Phase 3, Part 2 of the Fallout saga of Anime Marvel, Road to Shibuya. So stay tuned for that Season 2 finale and for the final video for the calendar year of 2024. Even though technically it is 2025. But please stay tuned for that and for everything else that's come out now and in the future. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.